Hello everyone. Today I feel gross and sick, so I decided I should make a video and tell y'all how I'm feeling. Probably like 4 people will watch this and I don't mind. I just feel the need to share. So, as I've said in my introductory video, I have diabetes, type 1, juvenile diabetes. I was diagnosed at 15 months, and I'm 18 now, so I've had it for about 18 years. I'd say I don't mind having diabetes that much. I feel grateful that I was diagnosed so young, because that was the only thing I knew, the only thing I do know. And I feel terribly bad for people who are diagnosed at like 20 or 15 or like 10 or 7. Like, they've lived a part of their life freely and where they can eat anything they want, and they have to change their whole lifestyle just because of diabetes. So I'm very grateful that I was diagnosed so young and to only know diabetes. So, yeah. Today, well, technically last night, I changed my site, which is the part that goes in my skin that the insulin is put through me, because my pancreas doesn't work. So my pump acts as my outside pancreas, and I'll show you my pump. Can't show you my site because it's kind of, this is my pump. Yeah. So, yeah, and I put my my site on my stomach for the first time in like forever, and I was really scared it would hurt, and it didn't hurt that bad. But, so last night, I had to change my site, so I asked one of my sisters to fill a syringe for me, and I know I was being kind of vague in where it was, so she got some for me. And so I changed my site because my insulin was running low. So I changed it, and I just wasn't feeling very well, and my blood sugar was high. So I did a correction with my pump, and I was still high. So I did another correction, and when I got home, I changed my entire site, just like where it was placed, because sometimes where it's placed causes it to not actually go into you, like into your bloodstream and stuff. So I changed where my site was placed, and I tried. So I had to stay up because I don't like going to sleep with a high blood sugar, because there's a possibility I could fall into a coma, and I really don't want that. So I stayed up, and it was really hard. Like, I was so tired. And so I kept drifting and taking tiny naps, and then I'd wake up and I'd freak out, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I need to stay up. But the first time it was around 12, and and I was above 600, which is the worst you could be. So I gave myself a shot because I knew my pump wasn't going in and I needed to change it. So I changed it. And so I was sitting in my room with my door closed because people were sleeping and I didn't want to wake them. So I had my lights on and I was talking to someone to keep me up. And yeah, they were keeping me up pretty well, because we were talking on the phone, and we were both trying to, almost falling asleep, and then he fell asleep, and he feels so bad for it, and I'm just, telling him, no, it's okay, because I kind of fell asleep too. And so I woke up, the 2-hour mark after my blood sugar was 600, I was supposed to check it again to see if it was coming down, and it was, which is good, and it was like 300 something, so I did another correction with my new site and my pump, and I was hoping and praying like it would go down, but I waited another 2 hours, and I fell asleep at 3, and then I woke up at 6, and I felt terrible, like my stomach was hurting really bad, and I just didn't feel very well. So I checked myself, and I was still 300, and I was like, what is happening? So I changed my site again where it was placed, because I was like, that's the only thing I can think of, and I went to a study session for school, went there, and I had 2 tacos, and then I checked myself, like, after I bolused for them, and I was 500, and I was like, oh goodness, and I was so thirsty, so I had to go get some water, and, like, it was just a mess, and I didn't feel very well, again, and so, I had to change it there, too, and so I changed my site, where it was placed. And then I got home, and I was talking to my mom, and she was like, well, I don't know what's happening, you know. It's like, I asked my sister, which vial did you use, because there's a short-term insulin and a long-term insulin, and I was like, which one did you use? And she's like, I don't know. And I was like, was it the purple one? And she's like, I don't know what color it was. And then I was like, was it in the purple box in a bag? And she was like, yes. And I was like, that's probably why, like, my blood sugar's been high all this time, because she filled my syringe with long-term, like, insulin, so it wouldn't, like, treat anything that I would bolus it for. It would just, like, go for, like, a while. I don't know how to explain it, sorry. And so I changed my site completely, like the insulin in the syringe and where it was placed, and I did that when I got home, and I gave myself a shot also because I still didn't feel very well, and my blood sugar was high, so I gave myself another shot, and I was like, I think the 3rd shot that I've taken, like, from last night today, and yeah, and I've changed my site 4 times today, and that's not very fun because I have to poke myself with a needle every time. It wasn't fun. But I put it on my stomach because I was like, maybe it's my arms, like the insulin buildup and stuff. And so I put it on my stomach, and it felt really weird for a second because I haven't put it on my stomach for like years. And so it's currently on my stomach. I'm currently 400 something, so my blood sugar is coming down, but it's still really high, and I still don't feel well. My stomach hurts. Like, it's not like a stomach ache, it feels off, and it just feels weird. Also, my head is kind of weird. It's not an ache, it's not a headache. I'm really thirsty, so I've been drinking some water. And that's one of the side effects for having high blood sugar. I have to go to the restroom frequently because of all the water I've been drinking. Yeah. I didn't go to sleep until 3. Woke up at 6. I had a prep session at 8. It's just, I really don't feel well. I also wanted to make this video because I got new glasses, and I love them so much. And so I wanted to kind of show them off. And then my hairs and little things that I learned from YouTube, because, yeah, YouTube's awesome. So, yeah, thank you for watching this video that's probably going to be like 10 minutes long. Sorry. Thanks.